Hello guys, good day once again, and today we are coming to learn about surd. When we say surd, we said the square root of a prime number are called surd. So any square root of any prime number that will give a rational number, we call it a positive square, right? So this sign is used, right? The sign is used, which is called a positive square sign or a positive square root or radical sign. So we have examples of some of the sets, which is 2, 4, root 2, root 4, root 25, etc., etc. Note that the reverse of any number to the power 2 is surd. That is, any number raised to the power 2, if you want to reverse it, then we get surd, right? So here we say 2 raised to the power 2 is equal to 4. Therefore, 4 under the radical sign is equal to 2, right? Is equal to 2. And also 9 raised to the power 2 is 81, which means 81 under the radical sign is equal to 9. That's the reverse, right? So that is it. So these are called the positive square root, which gives rational numbers. I hope you know rational numbers, like whole numbers. They are whole numbers, right? Those that do not give rational numbers are also surds. They are also surds, but they do not give rational numbers. So in solving, if the answer require us to leave the answer in surd form, you just have to pause. Example is 2 under the radical sign, 20 under the radical sign, 30 under the radical sign, 5 under the radical sign. That's it. And we have multiples of surd. In multiples of surd, it always comes as a result of having a factor, two factors of a number, which one of them is a positive square root, right? It's a positive square. So when you take the positive square root of that factor, then you get your whole number, then you multiply it to the other factor. So quickly, let's go to how to reduce radicals or how to reduce surd to the basic form. It says if a under the radical sign is such that it cannot be reduced again, it is called basic form, right? The meaning, that means it does not contain a factor which is perfect square, like I said earlier. If it contains a factor that can be further up and reduced anymore, then you can reduce it to get the multiples of the factor. So the steps are as follows. This one you just need two steps. Look out for the factor of that number. I mean the number under the radical sign, right? If the question is given that reduce so and so under the radical sign, just look at a factor of that number under the radical sign, which is a perfect square. Example, like when you expand, you are going to get a under the radical sign times b under the radical sign, where a or b is a perfect square. One of them has to be a perfect square. It shouldn't be like both are perfect squares, right? So you proceed, you take the root of that factor, I mean the factor which is the perfect square, then you multiply it by the remaining factor under the radical sign. So let's look at simple examples. It said simplify 24 under the radical sign, and we know that 24, two factors, when you multiply you get 24, and one is a positive square, is 4 and 6. 4 is a positive square, 6 is not. So you expand it, you are going to get 4 under the radical sign by 6 under the radical sign, and the positive square root of 4 is 2, right? So you get 2 by 6 under the radical sign, which is 2 by 6 under the radical sign. These are the multiples of it. It's simple. Then let's look at the next example. It says it says we should simplify 32 under the radical sign. And 32 under the radical sign, we know 16 by 2, we are going to get 32, where 16 is a perfect square, right? So here we proceed by expanding them. We have 16 under the radical sign by 2 under the radical sign. And the 16 under the radical sign is 4, right? 4 raised to the power 2, we are going to get 16. Therefore, we said 4 by 2 under the radical sign. That is it. So let's look at some perfect squares. So we say 4 under the radical sign is equal to 2. 9 under the radical sign is equal to 3. 16 under the radical sign is 4. 25 under the radical sign is 5. 36 under the radical sign is 6. 49 under the radical sign is 7. 64 under the radical sign is 8. 81 under the radical sign is 9. 100 under the radical sign is 10. 121 under the radical sign is 11. 144 under the radical sign is 12. And 169 under the radical sign is 13. It moves. So, my good students, you need to just do a simple research. If you want to get it a simple way, if you want to get the 14, just multiply, just say 14 raised to the power 2 will give you what? Then if you get the value of 14 raised to the power 2, then you take root of it, you are going to get 14 as a perfect square, which is 14 raised to the power 2, you are going to get 196. So 196 under the radical sign is 14. My good students, let's end here, and I'll bring you the additions and subtractions of set tomorrow. So just subscribe to Qwajo Chama himself on YouTube, so that anytime that I'll drop a new video, you get it, you learn, and you pass your exams. I love you all. Bye.